Hello, hello, you lovely people, and welcome. Hola, bienvenidos, mi gente, and welcome to Howie's School. My name is Joanna, and today I'm going to be sharing a book haul. As I said, my name is Joanna. I'm a homeschool mom to a 9.5-year-old. He's not here in the video with me today. Sometimes he is, and sometimes he isn't. I homeschool him. I've always homeschooled him, and we are very big book lovers. Huge. So we have a lot of book hauls on our YouTube channel. Now, I am currently spring cleaning my house, especially of books. My goal is to unhaul about 1,000 books. Yes, I know that sounds like a crazy amount, but I actually think it's possible. I'm a little bit over 200 right now. Since my son Julian is sort of outgrowing a lot of his books, and I think it's time to just start passing those along and keeping more books that we're using on our shelves. So this haul, I want to say this was mostly from March. I don't think any of it was from February, but it could have been. And now that I think about it, I think I forgot 2 books somewhere, which is okay. So these were from our local used bookstore and off of Bookoutlet. And those were the only 2 places I purchased books in March. One, I think Bookoutlet had a sale, maybe a buy 2 get 1 free deal. And then, well, I'll tell you the prices on the back of the books that I got at the used bookstore, and you'll know why I purchased them, because they were steals, and these were books I was hoping to add to our library as it was. All right, so before I just keep talking, because I have a habit of just talking, I'm gonna jump into these books so you guys can see what we purchased. I'm gonna start with the used bookstore books that I purchased first. I got Kate Dicamillo's The Magician's Elephant, and I paid 50 cents for this. It's a hardcover. And we just like Kate Dicamillo, so I keep purchasing her books whenever I find them. I got The Little Gray Men. I don't know who it's from. It just says DB at the bottom. I don't know if that's the person, but it had an introduction by Julie Andrews Edwards, and it's got that Julie Andrews collection on it. And I had just read Mandy, so when I saw this, I was like, oh, that's interesting. I haven't heard of this, so I picked it up. It's another hardcover, and I paid $1.80 for this book. So I have no idea what it's about at all, but it's about some gnomes existing in Britain. So I'll let you know when I read it. Now, this is a book I already own, but this is like a gift edition. So the colors are a little different. And so yes, I was suckered in, and even like it had a different color than the one I have, and the map inside as well was colored different. So I purchased this, and I'll probably just give the other one away or take it to the used bookstore and get book credit as it is. That's how I get the books there. I turn in other books, and I use my book credit to get these books. And this one was $2, so can't beat that. I got Black Beauty, and I have never read this, by Anna Sewell. I have never read it, and so I just think that Julian would love maybe a horse unit. And this is brand new. I'm talking about like the ribbon is still in there, never been taken out. New, and I paid $2.49 for this book. So excited to read that. As I said, we're collecting the Kate Dicamillo books, and I got Flora and Ulysses, and I got this for $1.80. It's hardcover. So excited to read that one. And this one was pricey. But a friend of Julian's was reading it, and the mom said her son really enjoyed it. So I thought maybe Julian will enjoy it. And I'm thinking next year we might do a little Shakespeare unit or something. So I picked up Leon Garfeld's Shakespeare stories. So I'm hoping he'll enjoy it. And this one was $7.49, but it's a big one. It's hardcover. So I'm hoping we'll like it. Yeah, we'll see. So let me see, we got some other ones in here. I got Echo by Pam Munoz Ryan. And this year I'm gonna be reading The Dreamer, and next year I have Esperanza Rising already. And this one is Echo. Now, this was a hardcover, and I paid $1.48 for this one. And I think I saw someone review this on here on YouTube, and they really enjoyed it, so I'm excited for this one. It says, lost and alone in a forbidden forest, Otto meets three mysterious sisters and suddenly finds himself entwined in a puzzling quest involving a prophecy, a promise, and a harmonica. And then it goes decades later, Frederick in Germany, Mike in Pennsylvania, and Ivy in California, each in turn become interwoven when the very same harmonica lands in their lives. All the children face daunting challenges, rescuing a father, protecting a brother, holding a family together, and ultimately pulled by the invisible thread of destiny, their suspenseful solo stories converge in an orchestral crescendo. So, sounds good, and I'm excited to read that one. I purchased these because I had taken these out of the library, and I had read these to Julian when he was younger, probably about 2 or 3 years ago, and I saw them there, and I don't own them. And I remember he really enjoyed when I read them to him, so I thought, well, now he's bigger, he can read these to himself. And these are The Witches of Benevento. And so I got book 1, Mischief Season, The All-Powerful Ring, and Beware the Clopper. And like I said, we had read these before, and these were $1.97 each. I had read these and he enjoyed them. A wonderful friend of mine introduced us to these, and they are super sweet and cute. So I was excited to find that. I got Inside Out and Back Again by Tanha Lee, I'm not sure. Probably mispronounced it, I'm so sorry. And this was $1.50, it's a hardcover. And I've heard amazing stuff about this book, so I'm excited to read it. And I did own it in paperback, but for $1.50, I thought I'd buy the hardcover and take the paperback to the used bookstore and get credit. I got Escape from Limoncello's Library. I've also heard pretty good stuff about this one, and this was 76 cents. So I picked it up because, you know, library, we like books about books as well. So this sounded up his alley. I got Redwall, the graphic novel by Brian Jacques. And I got this because I bought, I think, just the first one of the series, or the first 2 books, like the real books, and Julian hasn't grabbed them. And sometimes when he reads actually a graphic novel first, it actually entices him to read the book. So I picked this up. This was pricey because the graphic novels are always pricey. It was $7.80. It is not colored, it's black and white. So I'm hoping he'll read it and will want to read the books. I also got Wilder Lore, The Weeping Tide by Amanda Foody. And this is book 2, and we actually own book 1, which we haven't read yet, but we own it. So I went ahead and picked this up because it's $4, but I'm pretty sure this book just came out not too long ago. So I went ahead and grabbed it. Another book I grabbed, I've never heard of it, but it sounded interesting. The Goblin's Puzzle, Being the Adventures of a Boy with No Name and 2 Girls Called Alice by Andrew S. Chilton. So I think I was kind of suckered in by this cover. It just looked really beautiful, and it was $1.79, and it had some praise on the back from Jonathan Auxier, and I just recently read his book Sweep, and so I just kind of was like, well, if he put something there, it must be good. I don't know. So I decided to pick this one up and try it. Let's see. Some of the other books are like picture books. This one has a little tear at the top, but I only paid 50 cents for it, so I'm not too worried. I'm just gonna put a little tape there, and it looks like it's part of the clouds. It's Frogs, Toads, Lizards, and Salamanders by Nancy Winslow Parker and Joan Richards Wright. And we are doing a reptile and amphibian study, so this was absolutely perfect for us. I picked up Cut Down to Size at High Noon, a math adventure, and this was $1.50. And this one is about resizing, I believe. Julian just loves these math books from, what is the, who makes these? Charles Bridge. And they're the ones who make the, what are they called? Oh my goodness, I can't believe I completely just, oh my goodness, Circumference. Oh my gosh, Julian would have killed me if I wouldn't have remembered that. The Circumference book. So Charles Bridge Publishing makes those. They also make this one. And yes, this is about scaling things down. So I think this is going to be a really cute one. He loves all these math books, and they actually really help him out. And the last book I got at the used book sale was Encyclopedia of Animals. We have the Encyclopedia of Insects already, and I paid $1 for this thing, literally $1 for it. And let me just say, when Julian saw it in the car, quickly he ran to it and pulled it out. So it's already been used because he really enjoys these. And it was funny because the other day he couldn't find it and he was like, Mom, where's my animal dictionary? And I was like, animal dictionary? I had no idea what he was talking about. He's like, yes, it has all the animals in it. And I was like, I couldn't think of any dictionary. And it's because it was in the encyclopedia. It's an encyclopedia. So yes, he really was excited. Okay, so that's all I got at the used bookstore. And now we're gonna move on to what I got at Bookoutlet. And I don't know, when they come in, sometimes I'm like, was that in my cart? What was I thinking? Did I check my cart before I checked out? Because I don't even remember this book. But sure enough, when I go back and look, they were there. So in my purchase. So we'll see. The first one I got was Code Breaker Spy Hunter, How Elizabeth Friedman Changed the Course of 2 World Wars. And this is written by Lori Walmark and art by Brooke Smart. And I picked this up because we were supposed to be doing some spy and detective stuff during the school year, and it became a little too much. So I kind of stopped it, but I do want to do a little unit with him on that probably in May. I think we're going to do it May or June. So, and we love picture book biographies. So perfect. That was in my cart, and I knew why it was in my cart as well. I got The Somerset Tsunami by Emma Carroll. And I have never read anything by Emma Carroll, and I really wanted to read this one. Plus the cover kind of got me as well. It's stunning. So it says, when Fortune Sharp carves a boat from a tree with her beloved brother Jem, she's only having a bit of fun, but now is not the time for a girl to be drawing attention to herself, and she is sent away to find work dressed as a boy. Luckily, a rich manor house is hiring, yet Barrow's Hall's inhabitants harbor dangerous secrets of their own. The suspicious owner is hunting for witches, and the house itself is a little too close to the sea. So, I don't know, it sounded good and it had good reviews, so I'm excited to read that. We'll see. American as Paneer Pie by Supriya Kelkar. I picked this up because I just love for us to have some diverse books, and always, it's also always nice to have some books where you're seeing someone else's perspective once they, you know, either their families from another country or they themselves were born in another country, their experiences here in America, even if it's a fiction book, it's usually a pretty good window for that. So it says, nobody is looking at me, and definitely not out of Aventica, and saying, oh, she's as American as apple pie. I rolled my eyes. You're as American as paneer pie, Dad said, turning the cheese cubes in the oil. Well, that doesn't make me feel great. Paneer pie doesn't even exist. Dad sighed. My point is, you're both American. You don't have to look a certain way or sound a certain way for that to be true. But is Dad right? I wondered. Doesn't that sound good? So these are really good. I enjoy reading these kind of books, and I love having these sort of windows for Julian. I picked up Our Only May Amelia. It's a Newbery Honor book, so I thought I would try it out. I'm probably going to read it before I let Julian read it. It takes place in 1899 in Washington. It's a girl, and I believe she's the only daughter, and she has 7 older brothers, and she loves adventure and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to that. If you've read this, let me know what you think, or if I should just not read it. The Hungry Ghost. I picked this up based off the cover. Isn't that beautiful? But it takes place in Singapore, so I'm super excited about that, because I don't think I have any books that take place in Singapore, at least not middle grade books. So I was super excited for that. And this is by H.S. Norup. So I will let you all know when we read these. Obviously, there's a lot of books, so it'll take us years to get through these. But sometimes they're read-alouds by me that we read together as a family, or they're books that Julian will read independently, or they're books that I read. So one way or another, they get read, and then we get to share with you guys what we thought of them. I got this for Julian because I thought he'd enjoy it. It's probably a bit young for him, but I think he's going to enjoy it. And he loves when he can have a nice, easy book to read, and it has illustrations. He still loves, I love illustrations, so no judgment there. Sam Wu is not afraid of spiders. Now, there are other books in this series, but this is the one they had on Bookoutlet. So I'm really hoping we don't have to read the other ones first and that we can just start with this one. If you know, let me know so I can know if I can give this over to Julian. It says, I'm Sam Wu, and I am not in any way afraid of spiders, not even big hairy ones. Ralph Sinkerman III definitely needs to stop telling the whole class that I am. So when Tulip, the school tarantula, escaped from her cage, I knew that I had to be the one to save everybody. All I needed was 1, a jar of honey, and 2, Butterbutt, the cat in a protective tinfoil suit. Foolproof, right? So it just looks sweet, like, and funny, and like what Julian would enjoy. So the next book I got was The Midwife's Apprentice, and this is has a Newbery Medal, and it has an introduction by Newbery medalist Lois Lowry. Oh gosh, I probably pronounced that wrong. And it's a very small book, so I thought it would be a good one to read. And I don't have any books on midwives, so, and I want to say this takes place sometime. She's an apprentice. I don't know, but it just, I remember it sounded interesting, and we don't have any books on any sort of a midwife apprentices, so this was one I picked up. Small Mercies. I truly do not remember what this one was about. This was one of the books that came and I was like, was it in my cart? Do I remember? Yeah, so it says, it's in the tiny little circles of life where the sweetness lives. Mercy lives with her eccentric foster aunts in their crumble down house, and when a fearsome housing developer comes along, things really start to fall apart. Then, just when Mercy thinks life can't get any worse, someone at school accuses her of doing something she didn't do. Mercy needs to stand up for herself. She also needs a miracle. So, sounds good, but I truly don't remember purchasing it. Here's another one, A Ceiling Made of Eggshells by Gail Carson Levine. Now, I got this one because it takes place in Spain, and it's, I forgot what time period, or if it said it, well, it's during the reign of King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, and this is Loma. I'm pretty sure, I haven't read the book, and her family are Jewish, and her grandfather he treats her differently than how other females are treated at that time, during that time period. And being with her grandfather, she learns her buelo. She calls him buelo, right? Yes, no, belos. She learns how dangerous it really is for the Jews there at that time in Spain, and how much her grandfather's influence really keeps her people safe. And then she wonders if she'll ever one day be allowed to leave her Belo's side. So I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but the second paragraph was kind of what got me. At first, Loma, I swear I could read. Oh my goodness. At first, Loma relishes her adventures with Bello. Adventures that are beyond the scope of what most girls living in Spain are able to do, Jewish, Muslim, or Christian. Yet the older she gets, the more she longs for a family of her own. But will Bello ever allow her to leave his side? So, A Ceiling Made of Eggshells. So it just sounded really good, and I'm excited to read it. And like I said, I didn't have any like that during that time period in Spain, speaking on Jewish families at that time. So I thought that was really interesting. Another one I got for Julian that's definitely way too easy, so I'm sure he will read through this quickly and enjoy it as well. Ninja Kid, From Nerd to Ninja. So just a fun little read for him. You can tell, look how big the words are, and there's not that many on each page, but it'll be fun. The Lion of Mars by Jennifer L. Holm. I've seen this one a lot of times on YouTube and Instagram, so I figured I'd pick it up and try it out. The Silver Arrow by Lev Grossman. I don't remember what this one was about, but oh yes, they write their uncle a letter. This rich uncle, they've never met him, and they're hoping that he'll send them something for their birthday, and I believe something does show up, and they end up on a train to distant lands full of exotic animals, and who knows, they might just end up saving the world after all or something. So it sounds like an adventure book. I won't say much about this one. The Girl and the Goddess, Stories and Poems of Divine Wisdom by Nikita Gill for myself. And I'm going to, I think, enjoy this. So it is stories and poems, so very exciting. The Mysterious Benedict Society by Trenton Lee Stewart. We have never read any, so exciting. This will probably be a read aloud for us. This is for Jam. I'm always trying to find books I think he'll enjoy. And he had read a Pokemon book, and it only had one. It wasn't a series, and he really loved it. And we're trying to find another one that will hopefully be a series on Pokemon that he loves. So I picked up The Last Pokemon Master by Carroll Christo. I'm hoping he'll really enjoy this one. Does not have illustrations. I don't think the other one had illustrations either. So I don't know. We'll see. The Night Diary by Vera Heron. Oh goodness, I don't want to mess this up. Hiranandani. I hope I said that right. So this takes place in 1947 in India, newly freed from Britain, and it's been divided into two countries, Pakistan and India. Hundreds of thousands are killed crossing borders as the tensions between Muslims and Hindus flare. And I believe it has to do with someone's family. Yes, Nisha and her family become refugees and embark on a journey by train and by foot to reach their new home. The trek is long, difficult, and dangerous. And after losing her Muslim mother as a baby, Nisha can't imagine losing her homeland too. But even if her country has been ripped apart, Nisha still believes in the possibility of putting herself back together. So this sounds beautiful, and it's a Newbery Honor book, and I've heard only good about this book, so I'm excited to read that. This is another one that is way, way too easy for Julian, but it's The Chicken Squad, and we got this because it was funny. The First Misadventure, we've never read it, but we like Doreen Cronin. We used to read her picture books, so we picked this one up as well. So hopefully that'll be just a fun read. The Steam Whistle Train Company by Vivian French. Julian loves Vivian French books, so I went ahead and picked this one up for him. And I believe it is, I thought it was a mystery, but maybe it's not. No, I think it's people on a train and they're hoping that all their dreams will come true. So we're excited to read that. He really does like Vivian French. The next one, it's a lot, right? Oh my God, 22 minutes in already. I'm sorry, guys. It's a lot. I promise. April, I'm not buying any books unless they go in the Easter basket. But no, seriously, I am spring cleaning and I am determined not to get any books this month until I make space on my shelf. The Story That Cannot Be Told, J. Casper Kramer. And this one has also a reading group guide inside. Once upon a time, something happened. Ileana has always collected stories. Some are about the past, before the leader of her country tore down her home to make room for his golden palace, back when families had enough food and the hot water worked on more than just Saturday nights. Others are folk tales like the one she was named for, which her father used to tell her at bedtime. But some stories can get you into trouble, like the dangerous one criticizing Romania's communist government that Uncle Andre published right before he went missing. Fearing for her safety, Ileana's parents sent her to live with their grandparents she's never met, far from prying eyes and ears of the secret police and their spies. Who could be any of the neighbors? Even in a remote mountain village, there are stories to collect, but danger is never far away. Now, to save her family and the village she's come to love, Ileana will have to tell the most important story of her life. That sounds really good to me. And again, another story taking place in another country in which we did not have any books. So that totally enticed me to get that book. The next one is From an Idea to Lego, The Building Bricks Behind the World's Largest Toy Company by Lowie Bundy. Sickle? Not sure. So we do have From an Idea to Nike. So when I saw this one, I just picked it up. Emily of New Moon by L.M. Montgomery. I was super excited, and this cover, I mean, isn't that gorgeous? So I'm excited to read this one. I know Emily's an orphan. That's pretty much all I remember. And I'm excited to read it, mostly because the cover really pulled me in. This is another one that I've heard people talk about. Ophi's Ghosts by Justina Ireland. So I'm excited. I don't know too much about this one either. Yeah, I don't. Something about America's ghosts. With grace and heart, Ireland asks us to bear witness to America's ghosts and shines a light on the path to setting them free. Yeah, I'm excited to read it because I've seen it so many times and I haven't heard anything bad about it. And the last one I got from Bookoutlet is The Ghoul Next Door by Cullen Bunn and Kat Ferris. And this is a graphic novel, and I believe it's gonna be a mystery. So right up Julian's alley. He loves mysteries. They're not my favorite, but he really loves mysteries. Now, I know I said I was only doing the used books store and the Bookoutlet, but while I'm here, let's just finish up. Let's just finish up with everything I got in March. It's just this, and from Book Depository. We got The Highland Falcon Thief, Adventures on Trains by M.G. Leonard and Sam Sedgman. Now, I have seen amazing reviews on these, and these are mysteries, and I'm hoping he likes them because it is a series. And I've heard that they're amazing, and I believe they all take place on trains. Yes. So I'm super excited. This is high on the list. The Chime Seekers by Ross Montgomery. I've also heard this is amazing, so super excited for that. Rainbow Gray by Laura Ellen Anderson. I believe it's about people who live in the clouds maybe or somewhere, and they all have some sort of weather power maybe. And then she comes down, or Rainbow Gray comes down to Earth and turns everything upside down or something like that. I don't know, but I'm very excited to read it because I've also heard amazing things, and it's a series as well. And last but not least, like I said, Julian likes Vivian French books, so when I find them, I get them. And this is The Dragon's Breakfast. And who doesn't like a book about dragons? So that is all the books we got in March. Seems like a lot, because it is a lot. But like I said, I am unhauling about 1,000 books from my house. Hopefully I'm not buying any new bookshelves, but that could be a possibility. But like I said, I feel like we're gonna read these books for so long, and we love middle grade. And yeah, we have a lot of fun with middle grade books. So I think, and these all sounded amazing. So I can't see us not reading them eventually. But when I don't read a book and it's been on my shelf for a year or two, I do consider just passing it along, because then it's probably not gonna get read. It happens. Or sometimes we haven't DNF'd too many books, but it has happened. So if that happens, then the book also leaves. But so far, I mean, we just have a lot of fun reading. And we do go through spells where we don't read as much, but summer's coming. It's a great time to read. You can read by the pool. You can read out in the shade under a tree, all those places, traveling, because road trips, whatever it is, it's fun to have all these books. All right, so if you've read any of these books, let me know what you thought about them and which ones you think Jam will enjoy or which ones I will enjoy. When we read them, we will come back and let you know what we thought about them as well. So thank you so much for joining us, or I said joining us because I'm so used to having Julian here with me. Thank you for joining me today and going through our March book haul. You won't see one for April because I'm not purchasing any books through April. Maybe I won't purchase any in May either. Who knows? I doubt it, but yes, I'm gonna try. All right, thank you guys so much for stopping by. Again, let me know what you thought of these. All right, bye.